Guys, I'm not cheap. I just outgrew buying stupid stuff. And once this clicked for me, I never looked at money the same. Now, let me break this down because this one shift in the way I thought completely changed how money works for me. And why most people really, to be honest with you, stay stressed out about money, no matter how much they make. We've all seen people that make a lot of money, 6 figures, right? But they're still living paycheck to paycheck, right? I've been there. Now, people love to say to me all the time, they say, oh, so you're cheap. So let me ask the question. I'm going to get down and dirty with this thing. Let me ask the question that nobody really seems to ever ask. And that is this: what is cheap? So I want to answer the question, what is cheap, from my viewpoint, okay? Is cheap being wise with money? Is cheap thinking before you spend money? Is cheap not buying things that you don't even enjoy 2 weeks later after you buy them? Or is maybe, just maybe, watch this now, is cheap just what other people call you when you stop validating their bad money decisions, right? Let me say it differently. People buy stuff and you choose not to buy the same stuff, so they have to call you cheap to justify what they see in the back of their minds as their own bad money habits and bad financial decisions, kind of projecting on you. I mean, think about it. Because I've noticed something. The same people who call me cheap are usually the same people stressed about bills and stressed about debt and stressed about their money. But they have the nerve to call me or you cheap, right? Let me know your definition of what cheap is in the comments below. And have you ever been called cheap? Let me know that too. And here's the deal. The people who are doing well with money, they never call other people cheap. When's the last time you saw a wealthy person or a rich person or a person that's well-to-do calling somebody else cheap? I haven't never seen that. So maybe most people's version of cheap really ain't cheap for real. Maybe it's just maturity. I'm just saying. See, a lot of people never mature financially. They age, right? They get older, but they don't mature when it comes to managing and handling and making decisions with money. Most people, a lot of people, are stuck with the same mentality and the same thought process about money that they had when they was 15 and 20 years old, right? A 25-year-old impulse spender, a lot of times, unfortunately, becomes a 45-year-old impulse spender, just with maybe a higher credit limit, sometimes with a couple of extra zeros on the end. Maturity with money looks boring to a lot of people who are still emotional with money. Let me say that a little bit differently, okay? Let me say it differently because I don't want to offend anybody, okay? Maturity with money looks cheap to people who are still making emotional decisions with money. Now, once I figured that out in my brain, I stopped being offended when somebody says, oh, you're cheap, and things change for me in terms of my money from there. At some point, I had to stop being led by my money and start leading my money. And this is where a lot of us mess up. Most people let their desires, their wants, their emotions, their stress levels, they let their bad day they're having at the job, and they let their good days all drive their money decisions. They don't use money. They let the money sort of use them. So me personally, talking about cheap, I had to stop letting emotions swipe my credit card. I haven't used the credit card in about 15 years. I had to stop letting boredom go shopping for me. I had to stop letting stress decide what I deserve because I had a good job, right? Because we got to know this, okay? Money don't have emotions. People have emotions. And emotional people end up making expensive decisions because of their emotions. Okay, here's the analogy I like to use. Here's the analogy. If money is a car, most people, I say most, could be a lot or most, they let their emotions grab the steering wheel and drive things, drive their money. Anger drives the car. Ego gets in the way and drives the car, right? Or spends the money, right? Or insecurity drives the car or spends the money, or comparison to other people, trying to keep up with the Joneses is driving the car. So emotions are driving the car called money, right? And logic, right? Good decision making. Logic is sitting in the back seat of the car, quiet, seatbelt on, looking straight ahead, sitting straight up, chilling. You got the logic in the back and you got all the emotions up front managing the wheel. See, I had to not be worried about being called cheap. I had to flip that thing around. So what I did was I put my needs, I put my decision making, I put my long-term thinking and my vision, I put all that stuff in the driver's seat of my money. And I told my emotions, you know what? Emotions, anger, comparison, trying to keep up with the Jones, you get in the back seat, okay? Right? You can ride along, but you don't get to drive and manage the money. Emotions got to go back there somewhere. I want logic and maturity and good choices driving my car or driving my money. That is not being cheap, in my opinion. That's being in control. But to a lot of people on the outside, it looks cheap. But I'm not cheap. I just think I'm sort of careful and intentional and focused with money. And let me say this, guys, I got a freebie for you in the description box below. If you want my free debt snowball worksheet, the link is down below in the description box. Now, let me keep going because this next part matters. Every single dollar that you waste steals from your future. And once you start seeing money that way, when you start buying junk or things that don't matter or things that don't really have any long-term impact, that stuff starts to feel more irresponsible. It don't really feel fun no more. You start thinking twice about spending money on frivolous stuff. So I didn't stop buying crap because I was cheap. I stopped buying crap because I finally thought about and respected the old me. You'll hear me all the time at the end of a video say the best person to take care of the old you is the young you. If I'm going to take care of the old me and I'm young, I can't be buying crap. I got to be careful with how I spend my money today so that down the road I can have some. See, for me, the money I was wasting on junk today could end up ultimately buying me some peace down the road. It could end up ultimately buying me some freedom and some time down the road to an extent, right? Options. I wanted choices down the road. I didn't want to be stuck having to keep working all my life down the road. So I said, okay, I can either worry about people calling me cheap, or I could just take it and understand that I'm doing things with intention and logic and don't worry about what everybody around me say. And I decided I liked peace and comfort and freedom and time down the road. I like those things more than I like having Amazon packages being dropped off to my porch every other day or the new car sitting in my driveway. I prefer the things down the road. Now, here's why this message makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Because if I'm not cheap, and I'm just being logical and intentional with my money, doing the right things with my money, watch this. Then what does that say about other people spending, the ones calling you cheap? See, when you manage your money like this, in a specific, thoughtful, intentional way, people have to call you cheap. Because if they called you smart, then what would that say about them and how they're spending their own money? See what I'm saying? So it's easier to label me or you as cheap, boring, or what do they say? No fun, right? Need to relax. Need to have a little bit of fun, right? Need to live a little. Your YOLO, you only live once, but let me tell you something real. I don't miss what I don't buy. I don't miss stress. I don't miss debt. I don't miss having credit card payments. I don't miss explaining my money problems or thinking about my money problems. Peace costs something, but regret, in my opinion, costs a lot more down the road. So I never wanted to be that 70-year-old person that had to watch my money super duper closely. So no, I'm not cheap. I just stopped buying crap. I just think before I spend. I lead my money and I don't let emotions drive the car or even ride in the front seat of the car of my financial decisions. That's not really restriction. I'm not restricting myself. Discipline is not restrictive with money. Discipline with money is really freedom, options, choices. And the sooner you stop needing money to make you feel a certain way and get into emotions, the sooner money starts working for you instead of against you. So when people call you cheap for making measured, logical decisions with money, it says more, it really says more about them than it says about you. If you can relate to this video, smash that like button. Drop me a comment below. The most important thing you can do is share this video with your network of good people. Don't forget, grab that free debt snowball worksheet below. We're starting our 4-step money reset coming up in about a week. You're going to want to be a part of that. So be on the lookout for that information coming soon. Guys, the best person to take care of the old you is the young you. Take care of your people, but take care of yourself because you're people too. Until the next video, peace.